All right, guys, so there's actually three things that I like about owning rental real estate investing. Those are appreciation, depreciation, and debt pay down. So appreciation, value of the property gradually will go up. To depreciation. Depreciation is a tax deduction that the IRS gives a real estate investor. And in the eyes of the IRS, they're pretty much giving you a loss on that property due to wear and tear. Next is debt pay down. Your tenants that are living in the property are going to pay your mortgage down because they're going to pay us monthly and we can pay our mortgage. So technically they're paying for our mortgage. And every time they do that, our equity in the property increases. Hey guys, Enis here with Whiteacre Properties. I'm back in Charlton today. I think you guys have seen a couple of my videos on YouTube, and if you haven't, please go back and check it out. But I've showed a couple of the lessons learned here. This has been a painful project for us, so definitely go back, check it out, and especially if you like rentals. There's some really good lessons there. Property address here is 19 Carroll Hill Road in Charlton. We bought this property 2.5 years ago. We're finally ready to stabilize this building, bring tenants in, and keep this property as a long-term rental for us. So follow me around. I want to show you one unit that we staged, but this is 8 units among 2 buildings. Let's go inside. I want to show you guys around. All right, guys, welcome inside unit 1. Again, it's 8 of these units that are very similar to each other. We decided to stage 1 unit because once we are ready to bring tenants in, we want to show them the finished product. And just when we sell our fix and flip, even with rentals, staging the unit makes a big difference because people come in, they feel comfortable, they can see themselves living here, and they're going to be willing to sign up with us, right? And pay us what we're looking for. So with our fix and flip, we try to maximize our sale price. With our rentals, we want to maximize our monthly income, because based on that monthly income, that's going to determine if we're going to be cash flow positive or not. So anyhow, let me show you around, and then we're going to talk about what's next on this property. So living room, we put new flooring. It's vinyl flooring. These units were all gut rehab. There were some structural issues here, old windows, old everything. So unfortunately, everything had to go. We have new drywall, new windows, new flooring, new lights. All right, so I'll show you the 1 bedroom and 1 bath from this unit as well. We didn't do tile because tile breaks, and we want to make sure this is actually as maintenance free as possible, because if something breaks, they're going to call us to repair it. So we continued with our vinyl flooring. We put a new vanity, we put a new toilet, updated the tub, and they're going to have washer and dryer right here in unit. Obviously that's something people want, so we kept that in mind. We want to give people all they need so they can stay here longer. That's the difference between when you sell something and when you rent something. If we give them a good, comfortable unit, parking, washer and dryer, all new appliances, people are going to stay here longer, and that's going to make us more money. So something to keep in mind. All right, 1 bedroom. Nothing crazy, right? But it's fresh, it's clean. New drywall, new light fixtures, new windows, new flooring. And it's staged well, so it's a beautiful unit overall. So guys, let me talk a little bit about investing in rentals and why we think owning rental real estate is a great way to build wealth. When we started back in 2008, between 2008 and 2013, owning real estate is what we liked. We weren't interested in fixing and flipping. We didn't know anything about new construction, but we wanted to own rentals because we actually wanted to retire early. We wanted the rentals to support our lifestyle. A lot of people get rich through real estate investing, and a lot of people actually make money through rentals. The whole idea is that owning rental real estate is passive. And what I do on a daily basis is very active, meaning buying, fixing, flipping, turning real estate quickly. like we do with our new construction or single family flips, that's an active day job, right? That's just like any other job. Rental real estate is a totally different ballgame. You have to buy it right, and you need to understand the process, but that's once you bought it, fixed it up, and have tenants in here, now we're in a great position because this property can support us for many years to come. All right, guys, so there's actually 3 things that I like about owning rental real estate investing. Those are appreciation, depreciation, and debt pay down. So appreciation, value of the property gradually will go up. That's what happens. Obviously, there's going to be events like 2008 to 2012 where real estate went down or it went flat. But if you own real estate long term, it's gradually going to go up, right? So you're going to make money that way because the value will go up. 2, depreciation. Depreciation is a tax deduction that the IRS gives a real estate investor. And in the eyes of the IRS, they're pretty much giving you a loss on that property due to wear and tear. It's kind of counterintuitive because when you buy real estate, I just said that the value goes up, you make more money, but in their eyes, because the property deteriorates, right, there is wear and tear, they give you a loss on that property. And it's not on land, so if you have vacant land, you can't take depreciation. It's actually, you can depreciate just the structure, just the building where the property is sitting. And for residential real estate, that's the other thing. There is a difference between commercial and residential. For residential real estate, you can take these small chunks, these small losses in 27.5 years. Look, I'm not an accountant. Go talk to an accountant or CPA, but just as a rough idea, or just for you guys to get familiar with it, because depreciation is a tool that real estate investors use across the board, and it's very powerful. But just as an example, if the value of this property is $550,000, again, just the building, not the land. Let's say I sat down with my CPA, he looked at everything I spent on the property, and he says, your cost basis for this property is $550,000. I take that amount, I split it among 27.5 years, and I get a balance of $20,000 per year. So $20,000 a year for 27.5 years, I can put that number on my tax return as a loss. And it's called a paper loss because it's not a real loss, but it lowers your taxes. So if I make money with my fix and flip business, and let's say I make $500,000, I can take a $20,000 loss to lower my tax basis. Now, I don't have to pay taxes on $500,000 anymore. I can pay taxes on $480,000, right? So it gives you a loss on paper. Next is debt pay down. Basically, your tenants that are living in the property are going to pay your mortgage down because they're going to pay us monthly and we can pay our mortgage. So technically, they're paying for our mortgage. And every time they do that, our equity in the property increases. It means that we have a little bit more value in the property every time we pay the mortgage down, right? Because our balance goes down. So at the end of the day, when you apply the 3 principles and your property cash flows, you are in a much better position as an investor and your total net worth goes up. Guys, so I mentioned fix and flip being an active income earlier, but exactly what I meant by that is that it's a full-time job, right? You buy houses, you fix, you sell. At the end of the day, you're going to make your income and you have to rinse and repeat, and you're going to have to pay higher taxes because you are taxed as ordinary income. So you pay max tax rate on that. The other thing is once we sell these properties, there's nothing to show for it. I would love to go back and say I wish I kept 1 or 2 more properties because now they're gone. Yes, we made a profit. Yes, we went to the next job and to the next project, but we got nothing to show for it. With rental real estate, now we're talking about passive income. That means you are not actively working on it day to day, especially in our case. Once we stabilize this property, we turn it over to our property manager. Yes, we are in the business of real estate investing, but we are not in the business of property management. So we are not dealing with our tenants on their request, on collecting rent. We pass that all to our property manager. She's excellent. She can deal with that. So to us, this is completely passive at this point. It was active for a while until we got to the point that we got tenants in, right? Because we were involved every day here with our renovations, with our contractors. But the moment that we stabilize the building and we pass it over to the property manager, this is a passive income to us. We don't have to do anything other than maybe some bookkeeping and accounting work on a monthly basis. But other than that, this building is going to run by itself. So I want to make the difference. It's a really important difference between active income and passive income and keeping some real estate long term. All right, so what's next for us here in Charlton? You guys saw the finished product. I mentioned that we're almost ready for tenants. So basically, we took some professional photos and we're gonna go live on the MLS, on all online platforms, pretty much looking for good tenants, right? And we're gonna be asking for market rent, and we're gonna be looking for tenants that make 3 times the income. Pretty much if we're looking for $1,000 a month here, for this unit, we want someone that's making at least $3,000 in income. We want to make sure that they can afford these units. Again, we do all this to make sure they're going to stay with us for a while and they're not going to have any hard time paying the monthly rent. Last thing we want to do right now is deal with evictions. Look for good tenants. We're going to screen their, we're going to look for their credit report. So we're going to do a background check and credit report. That's an extra step, an extra layer that we have to go through to make sure that we get good people in here. It's super important that we go through this step because, I mean, it's been over a year and a half, right, to get to this point. Last thing we want to do is rush through the final stages and get people in here just to fill these units with people. We want to do it right, and we want to bring good people they're gonna stay for a long time. So once we have people in place, once we have tenants that have filed an application, they move in, within a month, we're probably gonna focus on refinancing the property. Currently, we have a hard money lender and 2 private lenders on this property. So we have loans with them that are due soon. So the way to pay them back is to refinance this property from the high interest rate with our hard money and private lenders to a local bank long-term financing at a much lower rate. So we can't do that right now because we don't have the income to support that, right? We need to bring people in, stabilize the building, refinance, and lower our monthly payments. Once we do that, we're going to be in great shape. Once we have that low monthly payment, we can afford to pay the mortgage, the taxes, our property manager fee, and hopefully have some left over. The numbers look really good on this building from our data, from our research. I think we're going to bring in about $10,000 in rent in total, in between the 8 units. And this unit I haven't shared with you guys, but it's a combination of 2 bedrooms, 1 bedroom, and a couple of studios. So 8 total will bring in about $10,000 in monthly income. So just some rough numbers, really high level numbers for you guys, because we don't have applications yet. We don't know what our mortgage payment will be once we refinance, but typically what's going to happen, we're going to bring all this rent in, we're going to pay the mortgage, we're going to pay the interest, obviously we're going to pay property taxes, insurance on the building, we're going to pay our property manager, and then we're probably going to have a reserve account for anything that can go wrong here. If we have to do a repair, if we have to deal with an eviction, if there's going to be vacancy on the building and we have to keep 1 or 2 units empty. So we need that reserve account as well. But once we cover all these payments, then anything that's left over, we call that cash flow. So that's the money that we can actually take and spend if we wanted to, or that's money that we can leave here on that same account and maybe pay our mortgage down even at a more aggressive rate. So you can do whatever with that cash flow. That's the whole idea. So to recap, owning rental real estate long-term is a great way to build wealth. And you guys are going to accomplish that obviously in 3 ways: appreciation, depreciation, and debt pay down. I hope you're enjoying these videos. I hope you guys like the tour of the 8 units here in Charlton and what we did with this property. And stay tuned. I got something special next week. We're going to sit down with Mark, the acquisition manager for Whiteacre Properties, and we're going to have a conversation on how we handle the seller appointments. When Mark goes out there, sits down with the homeowner that's looking to sell, what does that process look like? because these are people that have never put the house on the market, never put a sign out there that says house for sale, but that we reach out to them through direct mail or cold calling, and then Mark goes out there to sit down with them and make an offer. So I want you guys to see how that process works and how we get these properties at such good discounts. So if you're liking this, subscribe, like and share, and please comment. I really want to connect with you guys. I really mean it. That's gonna make me better at these videos, and I can push content that is meaningful to you. All right, see you on the next one.